Hi everybody, it's Miss Southall here. I'm going to be doing the next instalment of the video for Year 5 and 6. We'll be talking a little bit about the Class Dojo website. We'll be reading a chapter from The House with Chicken Legs, which I'm quite excited about. We're getting to a really good bit now and I love the reading. And then we are going to have a little look at the maths and the guided reading, and finally we are going to honour those students who've already posted loads of work on the Class Dojo website, and it's been fabulous to read. I hope that you've been able to get out into the sunshine when it's been out. Obviously it's been chucking it down today, and I hope that you've been able to find some positives, find the good things that are happening at the moment as well, all those good news stories that really give you a lift and give you a nice little warm feeling. Keep hold of those. Okie dokie. So on that note, I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to start reading The House with Chicken Legs. You take care. The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. Chapter 5, The Desert. Hot, dry air claws at my throat. The light from the window is dazzlingly bright. I drag myself to look at the view, shielding my eyes with a hand. Sand and more sand, a blazing sun, heat rippling the air, not a sign of human habitation in sight. I exhale loudly, trying to blow sweat-damp hair from my forehead. My heart feels so heavy it might fall through my chest. Nothing has ever hurt as much as this. To have my hopes raised, then smashed to pieces, and then the pieces danced on by the stupid chicken legs of the house. Jack taps on the window with his beak, and the sash slides up. Hot air blasts in like an oven door, opening. He lifts his wings, stands for a moment scanning the horizon, and then flops gracelessly to the sand outside. Good luck finding anything to eat out there. I sniff through a breakfast of cashew and damson jelly, ignoring Baba's attempts at conversation and her suggestions of having a hot sand bath, making sand art, or looking for scarab beetles and scorpions with Jack. Come on, Marinka, is it so bad? The dead will arrive tonight and we'll have such a party. It's not a party when all the guests are dead, I mumble. Of course it is. A smile spreads across Baba's face and her eyes gleam with excitement. I turn away and Baba sighs. You said last night you want to stay somewhere long enough to make friends. I look out the window, my eyes stinging and my skin tight. Every night you have a chance to make friends, Baba says softly. With the dead, I scoff. Yes, the dead, Baba shrugs. Living dead, what's the difference? People are people. I bury my head in my hands. Living, dead, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. If you would take the time to listen to them. What's the point of listening to them? They're all gone by morning. If you would take the time to listen to them, Baba repeats calmly, then you would hear their stories. Their lives would add to yours and stay with you forever. But that's not friendship, I yell. Friendship is having somebody really with you to talk to and do things with for more than one night. The dead have to pass through the gate, you know that. So let me make friends with the living then. I stare into her eyes, challenging her, pleading with her. We can't do that. Baba looks away, shaking her head. It's not the Yaga way. We have to protect the house and the gate from the living. I wouldn't tell them about the house or the gate. I know you wouldn't. Baba puts her hand over mine. But it's just not safe. We have to keep the two worlds separate. That's part of our duty as guardians. What if I don't want to be a guardian? The words that have been on my mind for so long burst free. Being guardian is your destiny. What if it's not? I pull my hands away from hers. What if I don't want it to be? It is, Marinka. Baba doesn't shout, but her voice gets firmer, like the strength of her words alone will convince me. Some things just are, and we can't change them. Jack wanders in and flops to the floor in the shade behind her chair. Birds fly, fish swim, and you are the next guardian. If my parents have lived, my voice wavers and cracks. You would have become the next guardian of their house. You would have had more time to prepare, but you still would have become a guardian. Baba reaches for my hand again. I wish they hadn't died, I really do, but I've tried to raise you as they would have. I love you just as much as they did, and I only want you to be happy. But I'm not, I sob. Light refracts through the tears welling in my eyes, turning the room into a kaleidoscope of stars and bubbles. Baba squeezes my fingers. You need to accept what you are. Being Yaga is in your blood, and you can't change that. If you would focus more on the life you have instead of daydreaming about the life you don't, then I think you would be happier. Baba's words don't help. She doesn't understand how much I need to escape this lonely destiny. I stand up too fast, knocking my chair to the floor. I'm going to feed the lamb, I snap, and storm outside to get some water from the rain barrel. There's no sign of life. No plants, no animals, not even a bird in the sky or an insect scurrying across the sand. No sign of water at all, and the rain barrel is only half full. We'll be lucky if the water we have lasts a week. At least the house can't stay here for long. The walls of the house creak and it rocks slightly, burying itself deeper into the sand, as if it heard my thoughts and wants to show me how comfortable it is here. I kick sand at it and stomp back inside to my bedroom without even stopping to warm up the water for the lamb. Jack flaps to my shoulder and pushes his beak into my ear. I stroke him and feed him some kozinaki, then set about preparing a bottle for the lamb. There's not much of the special milk powder Benjamin gave me left. I hope ordinary milk powder will be all right after that. My room is filthy and smelly, thanks to the lamb being in there all night. I guess today will be spent cleaning it out, and of course the fence will need building. Then there will be the cooking, preparing for the arrival of the dead. This can't be it, my destiny, forever. I want more. I want to explore towns and cities. I want to watch shows and concerts, go to festivals and dances. I want to meet people. I want to make friends. I decide to call the lamb Benji, so that every time I look at him I will think of a friend I might have had if this stupid house didn't have legs. It will remind me how I feel right now, remind me that I need to find a way to escape this life. The day goes painfully slowly. The heat is unbearable, and although I'm exhausted after I've done my chores, I can't sleep in the afternoon like I should. Even when the sun sinks low in the sky and the temperature drops, it brings me no relief. Baba calls me to watch the sunset with her on the porch. She tells me the sky is beautiful. I'm stirring the borscht, I snap, throwing a handful of garlic into the pot. A few minutes later, Baba shuffles inside, lifts the spoon from my hand and places a tiny star-shaped pink and white flower on my palm. It's beautiful and unlike anything I've ever seen before. Did you find this out there? I ask. Well, I had some help. Baba nods to Jack, who is strutting in from the porch, his chest feathers ruffling with pride. I asked him to find a flower for my choker. Baba kisses my cheek and pulls me into a hug. My head rests on hers, and it takes me by surprise how small she is. I've grown so much this year that I look down on her now. You shouldn't call me that. I'm not a baby anymore. You'll always be my little bee. Baba takes the flower and tucks it behind my ear. Her familiar smell envelops me. Lavender water, bread dough, borscht and kvass. I breathe it in and some of my anger melts. It's still there, hot in my belly, but she seems to smooth the sharp edges of it away. The dead arrive with the stars. They are very colourful this evening, flowing robes and delicate scarves in vibrant shades. Long black hair, shiny as volcano glass, even on the eldest dead. They add spices to the borscht and glitter to the air. Baba gives them guitars, and they tune them in a way that I've not heard before, and play notes unfamiliar to my ears. Mysterious runs and shimmering harmonies. The house rises and falls as the dead clap their hands and stamp their feet. My toes become traitors, tapping the floor in time to the music as the dead dance around me. They are all smiles and laughter. I think they must have had very happy lives, and I wonder what memories bring them so much joy. I try to listen, but the language of the dead still makes no sense. When the gate appears, an empty feeling swells in my stomach. They're going to leave, like everyone else I meet, before I've had a chance to get to know them. Baba kisses their cheeks, speaks the death journey words, and they drift away one by one. Living, dead, maybe they're the same after all. Neither hangs around for long. I offer to clear up. I can't sleep anyway. Baba hugs me tight and goes to bed, and I wander around the room, collecting bowls and glasses. I carry a basketful to wash outside. And that's when I find her. She's sitting on the porch steps, staring up at the sky, wearing a long green dress and scarf that are as smooth as silk and bright as spring leaves after a rain. She looks quite solid, just the very edges of her blending into the night. Meteors streak across the sky. Baba once told me the ancient elders believe they are the souls of the dead on their journey. I stare at the girl, mouth open. You aren't meant to be here. You should have gone through the gate. I didn't want to. You have to. Even as I say the words, a question forms in my mind. Does she? Does she really have to go? The gate is shut now anyway. She can't go through. This has never happened before. The dead always leave. Then another thought strikes me, reverberating through my body like thunder. Say something else, I demand, dropping the basket of dishes onto the floor with a clatter. I don't want to leave, the girl says softly, and I feel like hugging her, because even though she spoke in the language of the dead, I understood every single word. I think it's starting to get really exciting, this story now, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter or two. In terms of maths, you will notice that the PowerPoint has your maths ready set out for you. The information on the PowerPoint can also be accessed via the White Rose website. The address is on screen at the moment. The same as last week, Year 5 will be looking at adding and subtracting decimals, and Year 6 will have continued with angles at the beginning of the week, and will now be moving on to problem solving. As you have done before, have a look at the flashback 4 activities first, which can be thought of really as similar to our memory maths, and play the short video stopping to do your working out as and when the video tells you. Then have a go at the fact sheets that are outlined on the website and also on this week's PowerPoint. For Year 5, you might find it useful to use a place value grid to help you, like this one. Remember that the decimal point doesn't move, but the numbers will when you do your calculation. Think really carefully about where you place the numbers in the place value grid before doing your sums. And with subtraction, remember that if the number above is smaller than the number below, look next door and borrow 10 more. For Year 6, you might like to remind yourself of the different kinds of angles and how we can tell them apart. For the problem solving, these are multi-step questions where you may find using a bar model useful. Have a look at the videos again, and it goes into a little bit more detail as to how you can use those to work out those problems. Once you've completed the work in your books, take a picture and upload it to the Class Dojo website so that your teacher can have a look and see your progress. I also wanted to encourage you to have a look at the guided reading task for this week. We're not looking at a book particularly, we are looking at a non-fiction magazine called National Geographic Kids. You might recognise the title in other things, so think about where you might have seen it and heard it. Firstly, the task is to look at the layout, the text and the pictures of the magazine, study them and then answer questions following the relevant slide. The questions are set out as either bronze, silver or gold. You can achieve bronze, silver or gold medals, not literally, by answering those questions. We would ask that you think about what level you're going to work at and stick to that throughout the course of the piece of work. You might therefore want to push yourself just a little bit further and perhaps go for a silver or gold medal. It will stretch your brains in ways that you may not have thought of before. It may expand your mind a little bit more. The second task is to create either a drawing, which will get you a bronze medal, a poster, which will get you a silver medal, or a leaflet, which will get you a gold medal, based on the information you identified from the study of the text and the layout and the pictures. Feel free to be as creative and colourful and adventurous as you wish. So we're nearly at the end of the video. Just a couple of things that I'd really like to mention. One is the video that Mrs. de Gilbert put up in relation to a competition that the Trust is running for you to design a poster for VE Day. Now VE Day, if you can't remember, stands for Victory in Europe Day, and it was the catalyst for the end of the Second World War. So a hugely important date, and it's our 75th anniversary. Can you believe that? 75 years ago, the end of the Second World War. Doesn't seem that long to me. So what we'd like you to do is to use your creativity and your imagination and to come up with a fabulous poster and see if you can win one of the badges or even the trophy. Who is going to win, I wonder? Would it be year 6? Or would more badges be won by year 5? Who knows? Have a go. The second thing is to look at the challenge, is to look at the challenge for the week that is on the website in terms of learning how to spin a basketball on your finger. Coming up, you'll see a couple of web addresses so that you can access the Wiki How To website on how to spin a basketball on your finger, and also one for the Harlem Globetrotters who have a home learning, and they can also show you things like dribbling, how to dribble a game. Straight over my head, but there you go. Somebody might enjoy it. And finally, and by no means least, I'd like to celebrate some of those children who've done some excellent work and have uploaded those onto the Class Dojo website. Have a look at these names. Well done to each and every one of you. You are superstars. We are so grateful that you are doing the work. We're so pleased with you. Keep going, keep it up, and keep finding those positives. Take good care of yourselves, stay safe, and we hopefully will see you very soon.